stand like that.
If you drink around the mic stand.
You're going to get coffee on the mic. I'm going to put mine. Are you recording? No, you're not.
That's how you do it right there.
Stuart, what's your favorite console to mix on?
Console?
Console. Gosh, you guys are so
Console?
mean to me. Console.
I don't really have one.
Really?
I don't really. I mean, I've got ones that I've mixed a lot on.
Yeah.
And I know like the X32, M32 ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I could recall any page on any of that thing because I've spent hundreds and hundreds and thousands of hours, probably thousands of hours.
A lot more than me. That's
so. What's your favorite console? Let's start there.
Well, and so here's an interesting thing. We always just talk about them as if there's only one category. I mean, we've got analog, digital, line mixer, all that kind of stuff. So I prefer, and I think most audio engineers would say, I would prefer an analog desk over digital.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a good desk and everything in the rig is set up correctly. You know, one of the big issues back when we first started doing audio production is like you had to have an analog desk, which was huge, bigger than this table usually, and then you had to have racks of processing equipment that you still had to patch by hand. And I love that crap. Like I'd go back to those days so quickly. And so, you know, in the first production company I worked in, we worked a lot with Allen and Heath mixers, and I thought their analog stuff was pretty legit. And I've used some of their digital stuff and again thought it was legit, but so as far as digital mixers go, this has changed for me over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of an important point. We talk a lot around here about different systems. We call them ecosystems a lot of time because nowadays it's a digital mixer with stage boxes with different routing capabilities. Are you Dante? Are you Matty? Are you something proprietary? And I love any system that's been really well organized and really easy to connect and network. I think those are probably my biggest things. And of course, I like user interface too. Man, I ran away from the Behringer stuff for so long. I didn't want to touch it.
Yeah.
And I prejudged it. This is probably a big point. I think as audio guys, we prejudge things a lot. Like maybe you had a bad situation with like a powered speaker from some company. Doesn't even matter what company. Let's say you had a bad gig and it went out on you. All of a sudden in your brain, anything made by that company is junk.
Yeah.
And that's just not true. That's just not true. So I say try it out. You know, the more we've been messing around with the X32s and the M32s, I'm starting to come around.
I mean, if I had to like run and gun with something and it was on the fly, like I had to take something out that I knew I didn't have to think a whole lot about. I could just go. M32 would probably be my go-to.
Yeah.
Which I've done many times, run and gun, figure it out on the fly, festival, whatever.
Yeah, all the time.
So I guess maybe if I had to have an answer, it would probably be that one.
Yeah.
But I mean, since we're in churches like all the time, we see everything, we mix on everything. We've got a subscription program that we send texts out to every Sunday at different churches. So like, I mean, just in the last week, I've been on a Soundcraft VI 3000, and then I was on a Soundcraft SI Compact, and in between there, I was on a M32.
Yeah,
you were on an X32. This is just in the last like week and a half.
Yeah,
in churches running sound.
And then on the
live.
phone, we were talking with people about like their Yamaha TF consoles.
Yeah,
so
and then this Sunday I'll be running a TF console.
Right.
So like I don't know. I mean we're all over the place. As long as you understand how sound works,
right,
and how sound boards function. You know, I mean that's way more important in my opinion than what the console is.
Well, and that's a lot of guys are leaning on the console to be their crutch. It's like, first of all, be a good audio technician. Then these things are just tools in your hand. But one thing to consider if you've never thought about it, this is what we can close with, is levels. And that's what we kind of all agreed the other day is like there's these levels of digital consoles.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anything under like $6,000-$7,000 is going to be in a level. And honestly, they're all going to pretty much do the exact same thing with very similar results. And if you're a good audio technician with a good system and good band, you're going to be able to get a great sound out of it. Then you step up to kind of that mid-level. That's like the $10,000 to $30,000 stuff. You're going to see a huge increase in capability and probably in sound quality. I mean, that's kind of arbitrary. And then you step up to what we call like the flagship consoles. And you'll never mix on a bad flagship console, like ever. It doesn't matter what company it came from. It's going to kick butt because they put all their R&D and all their effort into it.
Yeah.
So that's probably more important is figuring out like where do you sit in that spectrum.
That's good.
And then if you like the user interface and it does what you need it to do, I think you're on the right path.